In the world of off-roading, names like the Wrangler, Defender, and Land Cruiser steal the spotlight. But beyond the fame lies a hidden league of machines built not for glory, but for survival. These are the forgotten heroes that conquered mountains, jungles, and war zones long before off-road became a lifestyle. From the icy peaks of Austria to the frozen tundras of Siberia, they carried soldiers, scientists, and explorers through places no modern SUV would dare to tread. Today, we uncover the 10 most capable off-roaders you've never heard of, legendary machines that prove true capability isn't about the badge but the battle scars. Number 10. Steyr-Puch Haflinger. In the shadow of the Austrian Alps during the 1950s, engineers at Steyr-Puch faced a problem only mountain people could truly understand. How do you build a vehicle that can drive anywhere? Austria's army needed a replacement for its aging World War II surplus jeeps, but the terrain demanded something far more nimble. Out of this challenge was born one of the most underestimated off-roaders in history, the Steyr-Puch Haflinger. Named after a hardy breed of alpine horse, the Haflinger was built to conquer where roads simply didn't exist. It entered production in 1959, and for over 2 decades, this tiny air-cooled 4x4 rewrote the rules of mobility. Despite its toy-like appearance, the Haflinger's performance stunned military evaluators across Europe. It could crawl up snowy passes, balance on narrow forest trails, and climb gradients that made larger trucks choke. In short, it became the perfect mechanical mountain goat, lightweight, balanced, and nearly indestructible. More than 16,000 units were built between 1959 and 1975, and its influence reached from Europe to Asia, Australia, and Africa. At first glance, the Haflinger doesn't look like much. Its body is simple, almost minimalist, but the engineering underneath is pure genius. It featured a tubular steel frame, independent suspension on all 4 corners, portal axles for extra ground clearance, and a rear-mounted air-cooled 2-cylinder engine derived from the iconic Puch 500 microcar. The early versions had just 24 horsepower from a 643cc engine, later upgraded to horsepower, but the key wasn't power, it was weight. The Haflinger weighed just 600 kilograms, light enough to be lifted by a few soldiers or airdropped by helicopter. Its 4WD system was fully selectable, with locking differentials at both axles, a setup most consumer 4x4s wouldn't offer for decades. The transmission, a 4-speed with a crawler gear, allowed the Haflinger to inch forward like a tractor when needed. Its top speed was only around 45 miles per hour, but that was irrelevant. This was a vehicle designed not for roads, but for no roads. Its small 12-inch wheels, massive approach and departure angles, and low center of gravity allowed it to crawl up 45-degree slopes and ford rivers up to half a meter deep. The Haflinger didn't have luxury or speed, but it delivered mechanical purity. Every nut, bolt, and gear served one purpose: to keep it moving in the roughest terrain imaginable. What truly makes the Steyr-Puch Haflinger one of the most capable off-roaders ever built is how it performed in the real world. The Austrian military adopted it almost immediately, using it to transport troops and supplies through rugged alpine passes where even mules struggled. Civilian operators, from farmers to foresters, loved its ability to go anywhere while sipping fuel. In Switzerland, it was used to reach remote mountain cabins. In Australia, it served as a utility vehicle in mining and agricultural zones. Some versions were even adapted for airborne military units, as the vehicle could be loaded inside small transport aircraft like the C-47 or slung under helicopters. Off-road enthusiasts who've driven one often describe it as a 4x4 you wear like a backpack, so compact and balanced that you can feel each wheel clawing for grip beneath you. Its articulation and low gearing gave it the uncanny ability to cross rock gardens or deep snow without losing traction. Even today, 60 years later, a well-maintained Haflinger can outclimb modern SUVs many times its size. It paved the way for Steyr-Puch's later masterpiece, the Pinzgauer, another legend on this list. The Haflinger may have been small, but its reputation is giant. It proved that true off-road capability isn't about horsepower or size, it's about design, balance, and engineering genius born in the mountains. Number 9. UAZ 452. In the frozen heart of Siberia, where temperatures plunge below -40 degrees Celsius and roads turn into rivers of ice and mud, one van has refused to quit for over half a century: the UAZ 452, affectionately nicknamed Buchanka, meaning loaf of bread in Russian. At first glance, it looks comical, boxy, basic, and outdated even by 1960s standards. But this humble-looking machine is one of the toughest off-road vehicles ever built, still rolling off production lines in Ulyanovsk, Russia, more than 60 years after its debut. The Buchanka was born in 1965, designed by the Ulyanovsk automobile plant for military and civilian use in remote regions where normal vehicles simply couldn't go. It was meant to deliver supplies, carry troops, and serve as an ambulance, all while handling the brutal Soviet terrain that devoured lesser machines. What makes the UASB 452 legendary is not technology, but simplicity perfected. It's built on a ladder frame chassis with full-time four-wheel drive, locking differentials and leaf spring suspension that can take incredible punishment. Under the hood lies a 2.7-liter inline-4 petrol engine, producing around 112 horsepower in modern versions, though earlier models had smaller, simpler carbureted units. Power is sent through a 4-speed manual gearbox with a 2-speed transfer case, allowing the Bukhanka to crawl up slopes, plow through snow, or wade through rivers nearly half a meter deep. Ground clearance sits at around 8.6 inches, and the approach and departure angles are surprisingly steep for a van. But the magic lies in its weight distribution. With short overhangs, a compact wheelbase, and a high ride height, the Bukhanka can navigate terrain that would trap most SUVs. Even when loaded with passengers or gear, it maintains balance and traction over rough ground. In real-world conditions, the UAZ 452 has proven itself across continents, from the Siberian tundra to Mongolian deserts and African savannas. Its rugged mechanical simplicity means it can be repaired with a wrench and a hammer, using parts scavenged from almost any Soviet-era vehicle. For decades, it's been used by Russian doctors and geologists to reach remote villages, by explorers on Arctic expeditions, and even by military units operating far beyond paved roads. Many Bukhankas have clocked hundreds of thousands of kilometers without ever seeing a mechanic's garage. Its reputation is so strong that it remains in production today, virtually unchanged, a living fossil of Soviet design still beating the wilderness. To outsiders, it's a quirky old van. To those who rely on it, it's a lifeline, a vehicle that will get you home when everything else is buried in snow or swallowed by mud. The UAZ 452 Bukhanka embodies the raw, unpolished toughness that defines real off-road capability. No modern electronics, no luxury, just a steel box on 4 driven wheels that's conquered the impossible for generations. Number 8. Gay Kolb 66. When it comes to Soviet engineering, the motto was simple: make it tough, make it work, and make it last. Few vehicles embodied that better than the Gay 66, a compact military 4x4 truck that became one of the most respected off-road machines in history. Built by the Gorky automobile plant from 1964 to 1999, this rugged workhorse served in every corner of the Soviet Union, from frozen tundras to scorching deserts, and earned the nickname Shishiga. To Western eyes, it looks like a stubby box on massive tires, but behind that unassuming exterior is a truck engineered for one mission: to keep moving when everything else stops. For over 30 years, the Gay 66 was the backbone of Soviet military mobility, carrying troops, radio systems, and rocket launchers into places no road dared to reach. The Gay 66 was designed with pure functionality in mind. Its compact size and forward cab layout gave it an excellent weight balance, keeping the truck's center of gravity almost perfectly between the axles. It rode on a ladder frame chassis with solid axles, leaf springs, and permanent four-wheel drive, powered by a 4.25-liter V8 gasoline engine, producing 115 horsepower and 209 pound-feet of torque. The engine sat high to allow for deep water fording. The truck could cross rivers up to 1 meter deep without special preparation. Its ground clearance of 12.4 inches and massive 12.00 by 18 off-road tires gave it serious mobility on mud, snow, and sand. A 2-speed transfer case, locking differentials, and air-assisted braking system completed the setup. The Gaz 66 could climb 60% gradients, side slope at 30 degrees, and operate in temperatures ranging from -50 to +50 degrees Celsius, making it one of the most versatile 4x4 platforms ever built. In the real world, this truck became legendary among soldiers, explorers, and civilians alike. It was the Soviet answer to the Unimog: smaller, simpler, but brutally effective. The Gaz 66 was used for everything: troop transport, command posts, mobile radar units, firefighting, and even as an ambulance in war zones. Its lightweight and balanced chassis made it ideal for airborne troops. It could be parachuted from aircraft like the IL-76 or carried beneath helicopters. In Afghanistan, it proved invaluable on Rocky Mountain trails where heavier vehicles failed. In Siberia, it hauled supplies across snowbound wilderness for weeks at a time. Drivers praised its raw torque, short wheelbase, and near-indestructible mechanicals. If something broke, you could fix it with a wrench, wire, and a hammer. Today, the Gaz 66 still roams remote villages and expedition routes across Eastern Europe and Central Asia. Many are restored or converted into overland rigs, admired for their sheer reliability and character. It was never luxurious, never fast, but always ready for the impossible. In the brutal world of Soviet off-road engineering, the GAZ-66 wasn't just a truck, it was a survivor, a machine that carried empires across the wilderness and still refuses to die. Number 7. Renault TRM 2000. When the French army went searching for a new light logistics truck in the late 1970s, they wanted something that could handle Europe's highways just as easily as the steep, muddy backroads of the Alps or North Africa. What they got was a machine that quietly became one of Europe's most capable and underrated off-road trucks, the Renault TRM 2000. Built from 1980 to 1990, the TRM 2000 wasn't glamorous or famous, but it was the kind of vehicle that earned respect in silence. It served as a transport truck, field support vehicle, and even mobile command unit for the French military, outlasting many of its supposed replacements. In the process, it proved that true off-road excellence often hides in the most unassuming machines. Underneath its square, utilitarian exterior lies engineering brilliance. The TRM 2000 used a 4x4 drivetrain designed to conquer diverse terrain, from snow-covered passes to Saharan dunes. It was powered by a Renault 720 diesel engine, a 4-cylinder unit producing 120 horsepower and 330 Nm of torque, paired with a 5-speed manual gearbox and a 2-speed transfer case. The truck's independent front suspension and rigid rear axle were tuned for durability and comfort, while lockable differentials ensured grip on uneven ground. Ground clearance measured around 15.7 inches, and the truck could climb gradients up to 60%, ford water nearly 0.8 meters deep, and side slope at 30 degrees. Its short 3 meters wheelbase and tight turning circle made it unusually agile for a 2-ton payload truck, a major advantage on narrow forest trails and rocky military routes. In real-world operations, the Renault TRM 2000 built its reputation not through power, but through precision. French troops relied on it heavily during training and peacekeeping missions, often praising how controllable and sure-footed it felt off-road. It was used by engineers, medics, and paratrooper divisions, carrying supplies, weapon systems, and personnel across terrain that often stopped heavier vehicles. Despite its relatively small size, the TRM 2000 could be outfitted with a wide range of modular bodies, from troop carriers to mobile workshops and even communication stations. Its compact proportions also made it ideal for air transport, easily fitting into the cargo hold of aircraft like the Transall C-160. Many were later adopted by civilian organizations for expedition work and rescue operations in the Alps, where its combination of torque, traction, and reliability made it a hero in harsh weather. Even today, decades after its production ended, the Renault TRM 2000 remains a hidden gem among European 4x4 trucks. Collectors and off-road enthusiasts prize it for its perfect balance, rugged but refined, lightweight yet powerful. It may never have achieved global fame like the Unimog or Land Rover, but in the places it served, it earned something better: trust. The TRM 2000 is the quiet professional of off-road history, a French masterpiece that proved capability doesn't need attention, just performance. Number 6. Pinzgauer 710M. From the mountains of Austria came one of the most technically advanced and field-proven off-road machines the world has ever seen. The Pinzgauer 710M. Developed by Steyr-Puch in the late 1960s as the spiritual successor to the legendary Haflinger, the Pinzgauer was a masterclass in military-grade mobility. Where the tiny Haflinger could dance over trails, the Pinzgauer could march across continents. Designed initially for the Austrian army and later exported worldwide, it combined clever engineering with raw durability to create one of the greatest off-road platforms of the 20th century. The name itself, Pinzgauer, comes from a tough Austrian horse breed, and the truck lived up to it completely. At its core, the Pinzgauer 710M was built around a central tube chassis, a revolutionary design that gave the vehicle unmatched rigidity and off-road articulation. Mounted to that was a rear-mounted air-cooled 2.5-liter inline-4 petrol engine, producing 87 horsepower and 180 Nm of torque. While those numbers sound modest, they were perfectly balanced for the vehicle's lightweight construction and gearing. The full-time 4WD system, combined with portal axles, provided outstanding ground clearance 13.2 inches while keeping the center of gravity low. A 5-speed manual transmission, 2-speed transfer case, and locking differentials on both axles gave the 710M surgical traction control. Its approach and departure angles exceeded 45 degrees. It could ford nearly 0.7 meters of water, and it could climb slopes of 35 degrees with ease. The 710M was the 4x4 version, while the Pinzgauer 712 offered a 6x6 configuration for even more capability. In real-world performance, the Pinzgauer became a global legend in military and expedition use. It was adopted by dozens of armies from Austria, Switzerland, and the UK to New Zealand and Thailand, thanks to its ability to traverse terrain that left larger trucks stranded. Its balanced weight distribution and independent suspension meant that all four wheels maintained constant contact with the ground, even over rocks, mud, or snow. The engine's position in the rear improved traction on climbs, while the sealed underbody allowed it to glide through swamps and water crossings. Troops praised its reliability in freezing alpine weather and scorching deserts alike. Civilians also fell in love with its practicality. It could carry up to 10 passengers or nearly 1.5 tons of cargo, all while keeping maintenance incredibly simple. Even decades after production ended in the early 2000s, the Pinzgauer remains one of the most respected off-roaders ever built. It's still in service with private contractors, rescue teams, and adventurers who need unstoppable mobility. Many modern expedition builders consider it a superior platform to even the Unimog, due to its lighter frame and greater maneuverability. The Pinzgauer 710M isn't just a vehicle, it's a piece of living engineering art, the perfect fusion of simplicity, precision, and purpose. In the world of forgotten legends, this Austrian warrior stands as proof that brilliance doesn't shout, it climbs quietly, higher than anyone expects. Number 5. Volvo C303. In the icy expanses of northern Sweden, where snowdrifts can swallow entire roads and frozen rivers are often the only way to travel, Volvo faced a challenge: build a vehicle that could move troops, supplies, and equipment across a landscape that few machines could even touch. The answer was the Volvo C303, also known as TGB-11, a compact but ferociously capable 4x4 introduced in the late 1970s. While its outward appearance resembles a small military truck, its engineering is anything but ordinary. The Swedish Army needed a lightweight, durable, and highly mobile vehicle for reconnaissance, logistics, and troop transport, and the C303 exceeded every expectation. Its combination of rugged simplicity and innovative engineering made it one of Europe's most formidable off-roaders. Yet it remains largely unknown outside military and enthusiast circles. The C303's design is a study in off-road functionality. Built on a lightweight ladder frame chassis with portal axles, it achieved exceptional ground clearance without compromising stability. Its air-cooled 3.0-liter B30 inline-6 engine, producing 125 horsepower, was mounted in the front, paired with a 4-speed manual transmission and 2-speed transfer case, giving it incredible torque and control at low speeds. Full-time 4WD with locking differentials on both axles ensured traction over ice, mud, and uneven terrain, while its independent suspension allowed each wheel to articulate freely over obstacles. The vehicle could ford up to 0.6 meters of water, climb gradients of 60%, and traverse side slopes up to 30 degrees. With a lightweight body of around 3,750 pounds, it was agile enough to navigate narrow forest trails, rocky outcrops, and steep snowbound passes, feats that would ground most conventional trucks. In the field, the Volvo C303 quickly proved its worth. The Swedish Army deployed it in Arctic exercises, border patrols, and rescue operations, where it carried personnel, medical supplies, and communications equipment across impossible terrain. Its modular body design allowed for troop transport, cargo hauling, or mounting specialized equipment, making it highly versatile. Civilians in northern Sweden and Norway also adopted it for forestry, hunting, and expedition purposes, praising its reliability in extreme cold and deep snow. The vehicle's balanced weight distribution and low-pressure tires ensured minimal ground disturbance, allowing it to traverse soft tundra and snow-covered lakes safely. Operators often marveled at its mechanical simplicity. Every component was serviceable in the field, and the air-cooled engine refused to freeze, even in the harshest winters. Today, the Volvo C303 remains a cult favorite among off-road enthusiasts and collectors worldwide. Its combination of lightweight engineering, extreme mobility, and enduring reliability exemplifies Swedish ingenuity in military vehicle design. Though largely overshadowed by more famous trucks like the Unimog, the C303 continues to impress in overland expeditions, rescue missions, and private collections, proving that size and fame are no substitute for real-world capability. In the pantheon of forgotten off-road legends, the Volvo C303 stands as a quiet giant, small in stature, enormous in performance, and almost impossible to stop once it hits rough terrain. Number 4. Bucher Duro. In the precise and methodical world of Swiss engineering, functionality and reliability are never optional. They are expected. The Bucher Duro 6x6 exemplifies this ethos, combining Swiss precision with extreme off-road capability. Developed in the late 1980s by Bucher Geier AG to meet the demanding needs of the Swiss Army, The Duro was intended as a heavy-duty logistics and transport vehicle capable of handling alpine terrain, deep snow, and mud-laden valleys. Its design was focused entirely on mobility and endurance, ensuring that soldiers and supplies could reach the most inaccessible locations, regardless of weather or season. What sets the Duro apart from other military trucks is its engineering sophistication. It is a 6x6 all-wheel drive platform that maintains agility and balance in conditions that would immobilize heavier or less well-engineered vehicles. The Duro's engineering is impressive in every detail. It features a central chassis tube, similar in concept to other high-performance military vehicles, which provides exceptional torsional rigidity and stability. Each wheel rides on independent suspension, allowing the truck to maintain traction over extremely uneven ground. The power comes from a Mercedes-Benz OM364 diesel engine, producing 170 horsepower and 460 Nm of torque, transmitted through a 5-speed manual gearbox with a 2-speed transfer case. Full-time 6x6 drive and lockable differentials ensure that all wheels remain firmly planted on the ground, while portal axles provide ground clearance of approximately 17.7 inches. The Duro is capable of climbing gradients over 60%, side slopes up to 30 degrees, and fording water up to 0.8 meters, all while carrying 2 to 3 tons of cargo or troops in a safe, controlled manner. In practice, the Bucher Duro proved its legendary capability across Switzerland's most challenging terrain. Military units relied on it to transport artillery, engineering teams, and communication equipment over rocky alpine trails, often during heavy snow or rainfall when other vehicles could not proceed. Its modular design allowed rapid configuration for troop transport, cargo hauling, or even mobile workshops, making it one of the most versatile vehicles in service. Soldiers praised its stability, reliability, and the simplicity of its mechanical systems in the field. Repairs could be performed quickly with minimal tools, a crucial advantage in military operations. Beyond military use, the Duro has gained a following among off-road enthusiasts and expedition groups, particularly in mountainous regions, where its combination of traction, suspension travel, and Swiss engineering precision allows it to tackle terrain considered impassable by conventional trucks. Even decades after its introduction, the Bucher Duro 6x6 remains a benchmark for heavy-duty off-road performance. Its blend of mechanical reliability, Swiss engineering, and tactical versatility makes it one of the most capable and underrated off-road trucks in existence. In the world of extreme vehicles, it represents the pinnacle of purpose-driven design, a machine built to conquer mountains, mud, and snow without compromise. The Duro is not just a truck. It is a testament to the fact that meticulous engineering and robust design can turn even the most challenging terrain into traversable territory. Number 3. Alvis Stalwart. In the post-World War II era, the British Army faced a unique logistical challenge: move heavy equipment across the wet, flooded, and unpredictable landscapes of Europe and overseas territories. The solution came in the form of the Alvis Stalwart 6x6, a massive amphibious transport vehicle introduced in the early 1960s. Designed by Alvis Limited, the Stalwart was not only capable of traversing extreme off-road terrain, but could also operate on water, a rare combination that made it one of the most versatile and capable trucks of its era. Its 6-driven wheels and amphibious hull design gave it unprecedented mobility, allowing it to ferry troops, cargo, and even light vehicles across rivers, marshes, and coastal areas without the need for bridges or ferries. The Stalwart's engineering is both robust and ingenious. Built around a ladder-frame chassis integrated with a watertight hull, it provides the structural rigidity needed for land operations while maintaining buoyancy in water. Powering the vehicle is a Rolls-Royce B81 inline-8 petrol engine, producing 220 horsepower, connected to a 5-speed manual transmission and a 2-speed transfer case. All 6 wheels are powered, and the truck features independent coil spring suspension, giving it excellent traction and stability over rocks, mud, and uneven terrain. Propulsion in water comes from a rear-mounted water jet, allowing the Stalwart to travel at roughly 6 knots, while its wheels continue to provide steering control on land. With a ground clearance of 15.7 inches, the vehicle can climb steep gradients, cross ditches, and wade through rivers up to 1.2 meters deep, making it an unstoppable force in mixed environments. In the field, the Alvis Stalwart earned its legendary status among British and Allied forces. It was deployed in Germany during Cold War exercises, in Hong Kong for amphibious operations, and in various overseas operations requiring logistical flexibility. Its ability to seamlessly transition from land to water meant that supply chains could continue uninterrupted in environments that would paralyze other vehicles. Troops praised its reliability, load capacity, and the sheer confidence it inspired. The Stalwart could carry up to 5 tons of cargo or 35 fully equipped soldiers across terrain that ranged from flooded fields to rugged forests. Civilians later adapted it for rescue missions, oil exploration, and expedition use, where its amphibious capability often proved invaluable. While maintenance required more attention than simpler trucks, the payoff was unmatched versatility and mobility that few vehicles could match. Today, the Alvis Stalwart stands as a testament to engineering ingenuity, a 6x6 amphibious truck that redefined what it meant to be truly mobile. Its combination of off-road toughness, amphibious capability, and load-carrying capacity makes it one of the most capable and unusual trucks ever built. Even decades later, enthusiasts, military historians, and collectors recognize the Stalwart as a masterpiece of purpose-built design, a vehicle that could traverse mud, rivers, and forests with the same ease, proving that real off-road capability often requires thinking beyond conventional wheels and roads. Number 2. ZIL-131. When the Soviet Union needed a truck that could operate in the harshest climates and terrain on Earth, they turned to the ZIL-131, a 6x6 military workhorse designed for absolute reliability. Introduced in 1966 by Zavod imeni Likhacheva, this truck became the backbone of the Soviet military's logistics operations. Unlike smaller vehicles, the ZIL-131 was built to haul heavy loads across snowbound tundras, muddy fields, sandy deserts, and mountainous regions, terrain that would stall most Western trucks. Its imposing presence and robust engineering earned it a reputation as a never-stop machine, a vehicle designed not for comfort but for survival in the most unforgiving environments. The ZIL-131's capabilities stem from its rugged design and mechanical simplicity. It features a ladder-frame chassis, leaf spring suspension, and 3-driven axles, giving it 6x6 mobility that few trucks could match. Power comes from a 7.0-liter V8 petrol engine, producing 150 horsepower and 372 Nm of torque, paired with a 5-speed manual gearbox and a 2-speed transfer case. The truck can ford rivers up to 1.2 meters, climb slopes exceeding 30 degrees, and operate in temperatures ranging from -50 to +40 degrees Celsius. Its high ground clearance, 12.4 inches, and short wheelbase allow it to navigate narrow trails, soft snow, and rough roads without losing traction. The simplicity of the mechanical systems ensures that even in remote locations, repairs can be performed with minimal tools and spare parts. In practice, the ZIL-131 became legendary among soldiers, explorers, and civilians alike. The Soviet Army relied on it to transport troops, artillery, and fuel to the most isolated bases, while its heavy-duty payload capacity up to 5 tons made it indispensable in logistics operations. It also served as a platform for ambulances, command posts, and missile systems, showcasing its versatility. Civilians in Siberia, Mongolia, and other remote regions adopted the ZIL-131 for transport and off-road work, praising its ability to cross frozen rivers, deep snow, and boggy terrain where modern trucks would fail. Its durability and reliability became a defining characteristic. Countless ZIL-131s are still operational decades after production ended, a testament to Soviet engineering focused on function over comfort. Even today, the ZIL-131 is revered as one of the ultimate rugged off-road trucks. Its combination of mechanical simplicity, payload capacity, and extreme mobility allows it to traverse environments that would challenge most modern vehicles. Though it lacks the glamour or advanced technology of some Western military trucks, its sheer capability and resilience make it a legend among off-road enthusiasts. The ZIL-131 is proof that a vehicle's greatness is measured not in luxury or speed, but in the ability to keep moving when everything else fails, a true titan of Soviet off-road engineering. Number 1. Tatra 813 Kolos. In the annals of extreme off-road engineering, few vehicles command as much respect as the Tatra 813 Kolos, a monstrous creation from Czechoslovakia designed to conquer the impossible. Developed in the 1960s by Tatra, a company renowned for pioneering backbone chassis trucks, the 813 Kolos was intended for military and heavy logistics use in some of the harshest terrains on Earth. Unlike conventional trucks, it was engineered to transport massive loads over rough mountains, muddy plains, snow-covered forests, and icy river crossings, where even the most capable Western vehicles would struggle. Its size, power, and advanced engineering made it the ultimate go-anywhere vehicle, capable of feats that defied both imagination and gravity. The Kolos was built around Tatra's signature central backbone tube chassis, which housed the drive shaft and provided exceptional rigidity and torsional flexibility. This allowed the vehicle's massive 8x8 or 6x6 drivetrain to tackle uneven terrain without compromising stability. It was powered by an air-cooled V12 diesel engine, producing around 300 to 400 horsepower depending on the variant, which could haul loads of 10 to 15 tons over steep gradients, rocky trails, and deep mud. The truck's independent swing-arm suspension on every wheel, combined with portal axles, provided ground clearance of nearly 20 inches, allowing it to clear obstacles that would crush lesser vehicles. Steering, braking, and powertrain systems were designed to operate in extreme cold, heat, and altitude, ensuring the Kolos could perform in Siberia, the Caucasus, or the Gobi Desert with equal competence. In practice, the Tatra 813 Kolos was a logistical marvel. The Czechoslovak army used it to transport tanks, heavy artillery, and critical supplies across regions without roads, while engineers and geologists relied on it to reach remote mining and research sites. Its enormous traction, combined with careful weight distribution, allowed it to climb gradients exceeding 35 torr, ford rivers over 1 meter deep, and navigate forests littered with boulders. Drivers described it as intimidating at first, yet almost effortless once mastered. The Kolos's advanced suspension and engine torque allowed it to float over terrain that would destroy conventional trucks. Even today, surviving examples of the 813 Kolos are celebrated by collectors and off-road enthusiasts for their engineering brilliance and sheer audacity. The Tatra 813 Kolos is not just a vehicle, it is a statement of what is possible when engineering, ingenuity, and purpose converge. Its combination of massive power, extreme mobility, and reliability under the harshest conditions makes it arguably the most capable off-roader in history. Though few outside Eastern Europe have heard its name, those who have witnessed it in action know it is a mechanical legend, a truck that doesn't merely traverse the land but dominates it. In the world of forgotten off-road heroes, the 813 Kolos reigns supreme. These machines weren't built for comfort or luxury. They were built to endure, to conquer, and to come back in one piece. Long before off-roading became a weekend thrill, these legends wrote the rulebook in mud, snow, and fire. Which one impressed you the most? Tell us in the comments. And don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more untold stories of the world's toughest off-road machines. Because real legends don't fade, they just keep driving.